Hi, spots and cheap pops! It's Silicon Steve Valli with Vladi, Dadi, and we are first official episode of the new year, and we're talking professional wrestling here on Hi, Spots and Cheap Pops. Vladi, Dadi, how are you doing this fine evening?
The devil himself has returned. Vince McMahon is back.
And God bless him, everyone. Well, you look, at the end of the day, Vince McMahon, if you haven't heard, everyone knows the story already. Vince has enough shares to where he can kind of bully his way into a possible sale, a potential sale of WWE. Vladi, Dadi, what is your understanding of everything that's going on with this particular subject? WWE did have an employee meeting, not a talent meeting, but an employee meeting, and basically saying that the big questions is that Paul Levesque, which Triple H, will still have his role as head of creative. Nick Khan and Stephanie will still have her roles. Nothing is going to change. She also said that this is not a scary moment, so don't be scared. This is an exciting moment. Oftentimes in companies like this, in a sale, their value grows immensely. So that's why they're doing it. So what is your understanding on what's happening right now with WWE?
My understanding is that this is the moment in history where we have never been closer to the McMahons not actually owning the WWE. After all the controversy, after the retirement of Vince McMahon, to finally take a break from this business that he has been so powerful in for all these many years, has decided to bull rush his way back with himself, all his entire bankroll, basically, and he brought two returning board members with him. And he is here to oversee the sale of this company that he has really made $1 billion industry. There's no denying it. He was the spark plug for it all. And he is back after we just thought he was going to ride out into the sunset. Silly me, I should say. But the devil has returned. There's no other way to coin it. And as you mentioned, everybody was very worried about what was going to happen in terms of the creative scene there at WWE. Luckily, it doesn't look like Vince is going to be involved in that in the slightest. It's basically he's just going to be involved in the sale of the company. And one of the things we will mention here are the companies that have been rumored to be involved in the purchase. So, and these are heavy hitters. And I'm going to go off the MJF tweet because he, and I'll quote the tweet as a matter of fact. He says, "I feel like I don't talk enough about how much I love," and then he lists all the companies that are rumored to be buying WWE. Comcast and NBC Universal, which some people might believe that they have the leg up, if you will, because they're already they already have the working relationship with Peacock. So that is a major part of it, I'd say. Then, of course, Fox. It's a big deal. They already have SmackDown. They already have a foot in the door. And they're a heavy hitter as well. Then you have Disney, which they can't necessarily be considered out of this. And it's one of those potential buyers that I'm really, I would be a little bit worried about what they might do with it. Yeah, I know they're going to put them on their, on Disney Plus, but if they want to start getting involved in having Disney princesses in some sort of battle royale, I think this is going to go.
Well, they haven't done that with Marvel when they bought those things out. So, yeah.
So then you have, here's another interesting one is Warner Brothers Discovery, who just so happened to be the broadcasting agent for AEW of all people, whose contract is up themselves this year. That right there is an interesting thing to keep a watch on. Then we go from them to Netflix, major deal. Amazon, Endeavor Group Holdings, and then MJF wraps it up with Liberty Media, which the last two I'm not really all that familiar with, but the rest of them I'm definitely am. And honestly, if they're going to sell, they're talking. I mean, I'm hearing upwards to $9 billion or something like this. this is where we are with Vince. This is where we are with the sale. It's again, all we know is the McMahon influence and basically the leading the WWE ship. Now it's going to be a corporation, and you kind of hope that maybe Stephanie's still involved, and as we mentioned, Triple H especially be still involved.
Well, the reality is that everybody who is in their place is doing their job spectacular. They're doing an A+ job. They've all been breeded. So when you buy a company that has proven to be successful, and it's been the standard bearer in the industry for 4 or 5 decades now, you don't change it. You let the people who know what they're doing do it. These are the best people in professional wrestling that have done this scale of professional wrestling. It is a completely different animal than any other form of media on the planet. And WWE is the only people who do it. So they're not going to come in and try to change everything because they don't have the players to replace the players that are in there. Stephanie has been born and bred for this job. Triple H worked his ass off as a worker, became one of the all-time greats, and then learned under the tree of Vince McMahon. So he literally has an advantage over what even McMahon had because he knows how to be a talent. And Nick Khan, his track record of making money is impeccable. So the reality is no one's going to screw up the way the WWE is going. And this is just to make more money. It is now a corporation. And that's the weird part about it. It officially will be a corporation. The McMahons will no longer have control over it. They'll have certain control if things stay the way they are. And in all likelihood, McMahons will still be within this company for years to come, but maybe not. Maybe not at this point in time. And that's the incredible part of this whole thing. Now it's not up to them, which is to your point. It's not up to the McMahons of what happens with this company anymore once the sale goes through. And that's a fascinating time in the world of pro wrestling. But in terms of what manner and where WWE is going, I don't think it's going to impact any of the storylines, which is the great part.